live data. Somebody's not giving you. Smata, somebody can make like somebody can make the shop. Turkey chat. Sound. And so actually.
Prototype labs that turn imaginations into invention. IP support that secure what you have built. Technology hear this clearly. The only difference between those who build legacies and those who don't is the decision are with you every step away. Our mission is simple: to turn students into starters, graduates into go-getters, and communities into catalysts of their own prosperity. So ask yourself today, not what do I have, but what will I create? Because your idea, your spark, might just be the next breakthrough South Africa needs. We believe in you. Let's build the future together. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Mutiba. I realize I have done you guys a disservice. I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Batli Lemutuku, and I am with the UL Digital Hub. Details of the hub I will give later for those who are still interested in venturing, rather looking for SMME support. And then just a few house rules. Can we all just please put our phones on silent? And then when someone is up on the podium speaking, can we all just sit down, because there is interruptions with the cameras when you guys are standing up. Thank you. And then I will hand
Mutiba here, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Partnership. This is a terrain, because partnerships are what can make the university successful and its community. I need to acknowledge the Chief Executive Officer of this great organization. I'm told they are called YAEI, Young African Entrepreneur Institute. Risuna Maluleka, Chief Executive Officer. There are many people from ABSA here. So the YAEI team, I won't mention you all by name because we could take too long. I also have to acknowledge ABSA, from Senior Manager for Programs, the regional, what is it? Lebohang Monama, Area Segment Manager. I see here Kekezo Temani. I see Kwanele Dlamini. I see Miriam Malebo. I see there are many other people, but let me just not try and do the protocol as I'm sure it has already been established. My name is Victor Homweswana. My responsibility is marketing and communication. And on behalf of the management of the university and the university as a whole, I really want to welcome you here. I'm a firm believer, Prof. Mutiba, in entrepreneurship. What is not always known is that I worked at an organization like this one between 98 and 2001. It was called Junior Achievement. And we worked with schools, we worked with unemployed youth, and we worked with teachers. We ran very exciting programs. And if you look at the landscape of South African business, you find people like Herschel Javits of the Javits Properties. You find people like Kumo Shwenyane, who's a big banker at Investec, a serious leader. Those people came through junior achievement programs. Now, it's very hard to claim that they became successful because of junior achievement. But it's also hard to ignore the fact that they were given a chance when they were young and impressionable to know about business. It's very unfair and disingenuous to not acknowledge that exposing them to entrepreneurship while they are still young and impressionable, I emphasize that. Young people are important because they believe in the impossible. They can even be called idealistic. They can be called unrealistic. But that's what you need. No dreamer who tries to be realistic in their dream has ever changed the world. In fact, there's a saying that it's only those who are crazy enough to believe they can change the world who end up changing the world. Crazy enough. Which means when ABSA says your story matters, when YAEI says we want to make entrepreneurship a profession, by making it as organized and as systematic and as united, as unifying as possible, we are beginning to do the things that matter to the civilization of human society. The first thing is unity. We need unity around this entrepreneurship agenda. And unity does not mean, ABSA, you give us 200 million rand to run this. No. It means we take the formula and we go to other people who share the same values. And we say to them, we think with the University of Limpopo, with the Entrepreneur Institute, with ABSA, with the community, with Shine Bright Entertainment, with the technology transfer of, we believe we have a formula that can work. And we want to unite you all around it. So everybody brings their share. You bring what you can to the table. The next thing is organization. Organizing ourselves for power is not an easy thing. Organizing people is not easy. So we have to invest a lot in organizing the right people, around the right objectives, around creating systems that will make this agenda successful. Casual events don't cut it. I told someone just before this, a casual event which can be very exciting is like getting a high. You smoke a reef, you get high, the world is possible and everything is airy, but you still come back to the real world. Organizing means creating systems and processes that even when ABSA one day decides, or if decides to pull out of this, the program will continue. That's what organizing means. It means creating alliances and partnerships that will make sure that the pursuit of this wonderful objective remains on course, even if ABSA decides not to be part of it. That's what leadership is. So I talked about unity, I talked about organization. The last thing I want to share is the values that we share. Africa is underdeveloped because we don't prioritize education. And our education doesn't prioritize life-changing skills like entrepreneurship. It also is what it is because we don't prioritize health. And health is not just being healthy as in you're not sick. It also means financial health that can only come with the right kind of literacy and understanding. And it also does not prioritize poverty eradication. And that means creating employment. But you can't go out and say, I want to create employment. You create conditions that will create employment. Every time, Prof. Mutiba, a young entrepreneur, gets an opportunity to come and cater at this event, they will hire 2 or 3 people immediately. A big business will not do that. A big business will already say, who's in charge of Limpopo? Go and deliver. But a small enterprise gets a 70,000 rand job, they will hire a person or 2. And that person will be able to take their kids to crash. They'll be able to pay for their... And that's how poverty gets eradicated. We don't say create 1 million jobs. We say create conditions that will allow entrepreneurs to thrive. And that starts with educating them and training them consistently, until they succeed. So we honor people like ABSA. Your Story Matters campaign is very profound. We honor people like YAEI. We honor the University of Limpopo, the Technology Transfer Office, and everybody who's here. So in welcoming you here, I want to say, you never know when you start something like this, how far it can take you. So I'm urging you, I'm pleading with you, to believe in it, that it's as big as you believe it can get. But don't sell it short. Don't shortchange it by dreaming small. Don't shortchange it by being happy to just have 1-day event and walk back to your office. Don't shortchange it by training people just so you can say, I have run the training programs, and I don't ask what the impact of the training is. Don't shortchange it by not listening to people when they say, we think we need capital. But most of all, don't shortchange it by not investing in creating market linkages. If you believe the story of these entrepreneurs does matter, create market linkages for them. You have a very powerful database of clients who can buy the services that are outside here. You have a very powerful database of customers and suppliers who will listen to you when you say, we are part of this partnership. It has produced 25 entrepreneurs. We want them to be on your supplier database so that they stand a chance of selling whatever it is they are selling to you. Don't go half measures on this. Go all the way, or don't do it at all. Go all the way, or don't do it at all. Because if you do it half measure, you raise hopes of young people who have been betrayed for so long, and you dash them the day after because you have forgotten. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for partnering with the university. And I hope this is something that you'll be talking about 100 years from now as a very humble beginning that led to great things. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you very much to Mr. Khumeswana. Likulas Khwabatwish, they said create, what did he say? He said create conditions that drive change. So you guys are the pioneers of tomorrow. You guys have to create those conditions to drive change. Up next we have Mr. Lebohang Monama, who will also be giving us a message of support. Can we please give him a round of applause?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's really exciting to be here. I think it's also great to see the work that is being done by the university and the entrepreneurs and the aspiring entrepreneurs. I think that it's so commendable to see a lot of young people and females specifically that are exhibiting even outside, because as ABSA we really truly believe that we need to empower the youth and the youth-led businesses, and I think it's really a privilege to be here. So without any waste of time, colleagues, I would just like to acknowledge the DVC, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Teboho Mutiba, the Program Director, acknowledge you, CEO of YAEI, Risuna Malulege, Marketing and Communication Executive Director, Mr. Victor Kumieswana, the academic staff of the University of Limpopo, and my colleagues at ABSA. I acknowledge all of you and all protocol observed. So thank you so much for joining us today for day 3 of the Youth Entrepreneurship Tour. And thank you to our partners at the Young African Entrepreneurs Institute, YAEI, for making this morning possible. I am Lebohang Monama. I serve as the Area Segment Manager for Small, Medium and Micro Enterprises at ABSA, and I believe in creating platforms that help young people step into their potential as entrepreneurs, innovators, and agents for change. It's such a privilege to stand here, not just as a representative of ABSA, but as someone deeply committed to what this moment truly represents. A shift in how we see young people, how we invest in futures, and how we grow opportunity. At ABSA, we are committed to empowering Africa's tomorrow. Ideas. We are investing in people to develop skills and build businesses. When you look closely at what the future of jobs looks like, what really matters is this. The fastest growing roles are not traditional corporate titles. They are entrepreneurial in nature. These are jobs that will be created and not assigned. They'll come from visionaries, from young builders, from people like those in this room who see a problem and turn it into a business, a solution, and a movement. That's why this partnership between ABSA and YAEI is so important. We are building a real enabling ecosystem, one that includes financial literacy, entrepreneurship education, and most importantly, mindset development. Because entrepreneurship isn't just something you do, it's something you have to believe you can do. So these are not just once-off interventions, they are part of a deliberate effort to shape and enable an enabling environment for entrepreneurship in this country. The ABSA corporate citizenship financial inclusion through entrepreneurship initiatives are split across 3 pillars. Firstly, developing the entrepreneurial mindset, targeted at high school learners to develop their thinking and ambition, so that we have a generation of young people who are resourceful and problem solvers. So it's actually great to see the high school learners there at the top being part of this program. And then we also have a second pillar, which is to inspire entrepreneurial intent for young people in higher education and training, which is the students in the TVETs and also the university and training. So who want to leverage their enterprising nature of to benefit themselves and their communities. For young people transitioning from studying to working or owning their own businesses can be a daunting transition. We've already seen a major success across the intent pillar through our collaboration with the Young Africa Entrepreneurship Institute. In 2024, the Youth Entrepreneurship Tour showcased thousands of high-impact young people to share their business journeys. The Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program equipped 300 entrepreneurs with skills to level up their businesses. However, an event that is close to my heart is the Youth Entrepreneurship Week and Youth Innovation Challenge. We visited educational institutions across the country, reaching more than 1,200 hopefuls who wanted to learn about the importance of entrepreneurship and how it will be key to transforming our nation's economy. 223 young people ultimately came to us with their business ideas, and these bold entrepreneurial thinkers were willing to tackle a diverse selection of unique African challenges across energy, the environment, social development, technology, and more. Selecting the top 3 finalists was not an easy decision, but each of them showcased innovation at the highest level and were awarded 100,000 by ABSA Enterprise Development to turbocharge their startups. Our third and final pillar is actively increasing entrepreneurial activity through funding, skills training, and interventions for women and youth entrepreneurs between the age of 18 and 35. Here we seek to help formalize enterprises as there is value to formalization, which unlocks opportunities and support. Here, for example, we are able to take 2 beneficiaries from YAEI. We were rather able to take 2 beneficiaries from YAEI to the London Investment Week SME Immersion to give international exposure to deserving local businesses. Another example is 3 YAEI beneficiaries showcasing their businesses at the recent Corporate Citizenship Dialogue, which took place in February in Johannesburg. So we go on a journey with our youth entrepreneurs. It's not just about once-off support. Our collaboration with YAEI started in 2023, and we have extended this partnership to 2025. The collaboration serves as a valuable opportunity for us to contribute to broader efforts aimed at promoting entrepreneurial action in South Africa. So in 2023, the SME segment introduced an offering that specifically targets youth and women. The YAEI and ABSA Global Entrepreneurship Week served as a platform to actively test proposition in the market. The products activated were the emerging entrepreneur and ABSA business, She Thrives. The 2023 play enabled ABSA to communicate our aspiration to become the preferred bank for entrepreneurs, both for social and commercial reasons. ABSA reached an estimated 870,385 people with our key messages across traditional media. ABSA supported 3 emerging 30 young innovators in 2023, which resulted in the formalization and commercialization of these youth-owned businesses. In 2024, the implementation consisted of scaled efforts aligned to the corporate citizen strategy of financial inclusion through entrepreneurship. ABSA commitment supported 2,700 youth in 9 provinces. The support included Youth Entrepreneurship Tour, which kicked off in Limpopo on the 17th of July in 2024, we reached over 1,200 youth. The tour spanned 9 provinces, engaging from the diverse communities to pitch their business ideas during provincial innovation challenges. 300 business ideas were pitched by passionate young entrepreneurs. 50 provincial winners selected and invited to attend Youth Entrepreneurship Week. 300 entrepreneurs were enrolled in the Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program. Youth Entrepreneurship Week was held on the 28th to the 30th of November 2024 and was a great success, with over 800 young people joining us at Wits University. Youth Entrepreneurship Week featured the Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Program, your Innovation Challenge Finals, Imagine 30, and Proudly African Youth Enterprise Awards. Finally, the Youth Innovation Challenge identified 50 potential for the 12-month Emerging Innovators Program. The Emerging Innovators Program, concluding with the top 3 winners sharing 100,000 in recognition of their innovative business ideas. In 2025, we will continue these efforts. We are continuing our collaboration with YAEI for the Youth Entrepreneurship Program, the countrywide Youth Entrepreneurship Tour, and later this year we'll be able to celebrate the progress of these initiatives during the Youth Entrepreneurship Week that will take place in November. We are also grateful to be joined by institutions like WASETA, SIDA, the National Development Agency, and provincial governments, who all play a role in scaling these young ventures. This landmark program brings together a dynamic ecosystem of entrepreneurs, investors, corporates, and policymakers, all committed to unblocking the potential of young entrepreneurs and shaping the future of entrepreneurship in this country. This is what it means to build an ecosystem and not just a program. To the youth entrepreneurs here today, and to the thousands who will engage with this program, I want you to know something very important. Your story matters. You might just have an idea, or your business might be in its early stages or already growing. You might still be figuring things out, but you are here, and that means something. It means you believe in possibility. It means you're ready to do the hard things. And we are here to support you. We are here to walk with you and make sure that the doors you knock on do open. You are the builders of our economy and the builders of the economy we need in South Africa. You are waiting for the future. Rather, you are not waiting for the future, but you are shaping it. At ABSA, we aim to be a force for good in everything we do. But that only has meaning if we keep showing up like this, collaboratively, consistently, and courageously. The future is something we watch unfold. It's something we co-create. So let's start by empowering entrepreneurs today to succeed tomorrow. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Munama. We appreciate that. If you guys were paying attention, ABSA is involved in a lot of programs, and I think that you guys should also be involved in those programs. So bother them, is what I am saying. Please, please, please bother them and be a part of their programs. Up next, we have a keynote address from Mr. Risuna Maluleke. May we please give him a round of applause?
Thank you very much, Program Director, and our host, the acting DVC, together with the Executive Director, Me, Prof. Tebucho Mutiba Lintate Victor, from the University of Limpopo, and our valued partners at ABSA. Aus Benita, I've seen you here. From Corporate Citizenship, I've seen Kwanele, Geketso, Lebohang, and the dedicated regional team members that are here today. The colleagues from Limpopo Economic Development Agency, Auskarabo, and the representatives from NDA, SETFA, stakeholders and community leaders, and most importantly, the young entrepreneurs that are here today. Absheni, Lochani, Tobela Relocha. Program Director, I wish to, before I get into my address, to extend an apology from the MEC of Economic Development, Tate Womsanda Matibe, who had to rush to Makado today for a program with the Premier, and he couldn't make it here. He was supposed to be here. But I think it's quite an important exercise. Young people are gathered here, and all of you look like you are attending some sort of a bereavement. And I want you to stand up, all of us here in the room. Let us stand up. Kancane sekusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela. Okay, thank you very much. So now I wanted to just check if there's anyone who was in a choir here at school, or maybe have participated in some form of activism. So it seems like I have to teach you this particular song. So all you have to say as I lead the song is just to say, Hai seksele kancane, hai seksele kancane, hai seksele kancane, hai seksele kancane. We've got it, right? Yeah. It's the easiest song. Kancane kusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela, kancane kusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela. So now you've got the song. Now we are going to start singing. Kancane sekusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela, kancane kusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela, kantsongo kusele kantsongo, kantsongo itahumelela, kantsongo kusele kantsongo, kantsongo itahumelela, hanyane husetsi hanyane, hanyane ritlotola pele. Thank you very much.
Enough.
DVC, what a moment, and what a time, and what a movement this has become. It is with deep honor for me to give this keynote address for the 2025 edition of the YAEI times ABSA Youth Entrepreneurship Tour, right here at the vibrant heart of Limpopo, hosted by none other than the prestigious University of Limpopo. And DVC, thank you very much for taking us through that brief tour, getting to experience what the university looks like. And I must say that it is really beautiful. And this particular hall in itself is beautiful. So let's give the university a round of applause. Now, colleagues, let me share why this moment matters and why Limpopo matters. At the genesis of this in 2023, when we launched the national tour, Limpopo was one of the provinces that we were able to reach, and we are back. And I'd like to say, Auskarabo, that at the time, I am proud that LEADER was one of our partners when we hosted this particular initiative for the first time, and we are happy to see LEADER participating again here in Limpopo. Let's give the Limpopo Economic Development Agency a round of applause. I think the most heartwarming thing for me is to see some of the familiar faces that we have seen from the beginning when we stepped our feet and launched this program in Limpopo from 2023, and some of them are here. And I just want to say that I am so heartily warmed in terms of your continuity in the journey that you guys find yourselves in. And this shows to us that the work that we began here in the province was not only just a once-off kind of an interaction, but it's a continued effort that will continue to actually reach the different provinces in that regard. DVC, I would like to paint the bigger picture here as to why this particular program exists. And I'm going to speak numbers that most of us are more familiar with, that right now in South Africa, we have more than 60% of our unemployed population being young people, and mostly aged between 18 and 35. And I'd like to say that this is not just a statistic for us. This is untapped potential. It's the unrealized power. DVC, we have brilliant graduates that are sitting at home, produced by universities across the country. We have business ideas, House Benita, that have no backing. And we have energy that awaits to be channeled into purpose. And that's why exactly we commenced this particular program, which is the YAEI times ABSA Youth Entrepreneurship Program. I want to emphasize that it's not charity. It's not a once-off motivational talk. So don't see me as a motivational speaker, I'm not one. This is a deliberate investment in young minds, dreams, and leaders. In 2023, when we started, we only managed to reach 7 provinces. And I'm happy to say that as of 2024, we proudly reached all the 9 provinces, reaching more than 3,200 young entrepreneurs through the TOR, Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Initiative, and the Youth Entrepreneurship Week. And I think that deserves a round of applause. And I'm happy that we're back again in Limpopo, and the province continues to be on the map. Then you're seated here wondering, what is it that this particular program offers? This year, the program brings to you a dynamic set of opportunities where we visited some of the businesses through our youth-owned business site visits, trying to witness entrepreneurship in action and learn from the young people here in the province as far as what they are doing. And DVC, some of them are exhibiting today. And for us, it's not a question of visiting and seeing what these people are doing, but it's now a question of how do we ensure that the work that these young people are doing is taken forward and scaled to create jobs. And I think as we are here in the region, the regional colleagues of the bank, you have clients that you have to service and see them to grow. We then had also the Youth Innovation Challenge, where young people pitched big ideas and got real-time feedback from different colleagues who are in the space of innovation, enterprise development, and so on. And finally, today we gather here, colleagues, where we experience what we call the Financial Inclusion Symposium, breaking barriers into banking, funding, and financial literacy. And all of these coupled together get to show us that it's all about action. It's about immediate learning, it's about authentic engagement, and about capacitating young people with real tools for real growth. So I must say that as you sit here today, do not walk out of this particular place without engaging the colleagues that are seated out here. That is your small enterprise development and finance agency. Interestingly, one of the entrepreneurs, or two of them actually, have been funded by CEDFA before. So you need to then engage them as they're showcasing to say, actually, how did you get the funding? Because I also want to get a share. You need to engage the bank, because one of the biggest issues and challenges as far as financial inclusion is concerned, centered around the idea of compliance and formalization, where some of us are looking for funding, but we do not even have bank accounts for the businesses that we are actually trying to get funding for. For some of us, it's just the fact that the business is not yet registered. Then how do we get to engage with you and support you in that particular regard? So colleagues, let's make sure that you are not bothering them. You are actually doing them justice because they are at work. So all of them from the bank, CEDFA, YAEI, and the likes, they are here to work. So when you speak to them, you need to speak to them from that particular perspective of wanting to gain access to support that you need as a young entrepreneur. After this particular tour, we are going to move into what we call the Youth Entrepreneurship Skills Initiative, selecting about 30 young entrepreneurs per province, here in Limpopo as well. And we're going to also select about 10 innovators as well that are going to be announced today, who are going to also be part of the finals in November during the Youth Entrepreneurship Week. And this particular skills program, DVC, is a fully funded program. So the entrepreneurs do not have to pay a cent for it. All you have to do is to show up for yourself. And I would be disappointed if you don't do that kind of justice for yourself if you really want to be taken serious. This is a hands-on development journey. You'll get the entrepreneurial training, you'll get mentorship, and then they've already spoken about access to markets. And I think one of the things that I must mention, Munama, is that as those young people are showcasing during these different events, one of the benefits that they got to have is that ABSA procured directly from these entrepreneurs the different offerings that they have. That is access to markets. That's what we are all about. I'm not saying that for you it's going to be ABSA buying from you. Others went to London, as Munama did mention. I'm not saying that you're going to be the one who goes to London, but I'm saying that all the ample opportunities that exist within this particular program exist at your benefit. And therefore you need to make sure that you rise up to the occasion. There's a narrative that young people are lazy and not doing things for themselves. And I'll actually be disappointed if we prove that particular narrative, which is in its nature bogus. Now, everything designed to help you is about moving you from intent into action. You'll also then get to plug into our national advisory platform, which gives you also that access to the mentorship, as I've said, and other support services. This is not a short-term hype where we arrive here and then I start a song and we all sing and we go home. It's long-term transformation. You need to take advantage of it. We are here with the different stakeholders to give you access to funding, entry into markets, and then support tailored to your growth journey. And in 2025, I want to say again, to echo your point, Munama, that the Emerging Innovators Program has also unlocked further funding from the 100,000 that you were saying that was shared among 3 entrepreneurs. In actual fact, the unlock of the potential in terms of funding now has gone from 100,000 for 3 people to 100,000 each of those are in that particular program. This is a partnership between YAEI, ABSA, and Visa. And I think for those who know what money looks like, they can clap because this is important. And from the initial point, and I want to just make sure that as you are seated here today, you don't see yourself outside of the picture that we are painting here. One of the entrepreneurs, DVC, as I did say in the briefing room, that he's an alumni of the university. He got a share from the 100,000 last year, and is getting a further share of this a fund that is going to give him further 100,000 into his business. So you did not just pitch for the sake of pitching. We are about giving you these opportunities. And as we do so, we understand that we are limited by resources, and hence we will continually move on to scale these efforts. But we just need you to be available when we are here. This is a movement that you are at the center of. And I'd like to say for each one of you young entrepreneurs, young people present here today, the one with the hustle, the one with the dream, and even just the one with just an idea, I want to say it loud and clear. You are not the future, you are the now. This moment, your season is your launch pad. But I want to say that success is not about the vibes. It doesn't just come with vibes. So here are 7 timeless lessons from African entrepreneurs who have built real game-changing businesses. 1, start before you are ready. Don't wait for perfection. There will never be material conditions that are perfect enough for us to do so much that we want to do. You need to use what you have. Start small and start now. Don't make this just some sort of motivation that blows away as you go home. In Xitsonga, we call it Mzilu wa Mavivi, which means that it's just like some fire that just like strikes up, and then in 2 seconds, it's all down. This is not what we are doing here. 2, you ought to solve real problems. Your community holds the clue. Solve the local pain. Start from where you're coming from. Context is important, because by so doing, you're already in business. Scale then becomes your next avenue. You need to know your money. Finance will be your lifeline. Learn to budget, to price, and manage cash effectively. And that's the reason we've brought in the financial services sector, for them to be able to teach you about all of those things. You need to engage them. Banks have financial planners. They have bankers. I think the relationship executives are here. So you need to engage all of these people, and there are bankers that are sitting here. But one of the most hardest things is that of consistency. Be consistent, because it is going to get hard. So even when it's hard, you need to be consistent. Entrepreneurship is tough, but consistency beats talent. Keep showing up for yourselves like you have done today. Give yourselves a round of applause. Six, I would like you to build networks, not just products. And the first network is the person that you're sitting next to. So if this particular program comes to an end without you knowing the person that you're sitting next to, it then becomes a problem in its nature. We are in a digital world. But before that, I want you to know that who you know opens doors. Build the social capital. Talk, share, and collaborate. Your customer might be the next person, as I've said. And sometimes the person who might know your customer might be the person that you're sitting next to. Or effectively, they might know your investor. In this digitized world, You need to use technology to scale. Be digital. I was happy to see one of the businesses, they're actually, you know, now you can do the QR codes to learn about the products that they are serving and so on. It does not cost anything to create a QR code. You need to leverage all of these. There's social media, there's automation, the use of AI, these things that are more complex, but you get to reach more with less. And finally on this, I want you to stay curious, stay humble. Attend as many programs that seek to develop who you are as an individual, as an entrepreneur, and effectively your business. You must never stop learning. Your curiosity will keep your business alive. You get to learn about fundamentals of running a sustainable business. You get to learn about your customers. You get to learn about the environment that you're operating within. And now I want us to talk a bit about Limpopo. Limpopo is rich in culture, in agriculture, in natural resources, but above all, it's rich in its people. The biggest untapped resource of the province has to be you. Here are some of the key growth sectors that you can look for if you ought to start. For those that have not started, for those that have already started, you need to keep on going into some of these. Agro-processing, from bananas to beef, the value chain is packed with opportunity. The green economy and water tech, and I think from agro-processing perspective, also the fellow that I was talking about is in the space. So others have already started doing it. And it's quite interesting ideas, DVCs, we have seen that how you get to do supplements using the most neglected kind of indigenous fruits that exist within the province. And that becomes business, it's opportunity. We have tourism, we have mining-related services, digital creative industries, and we have construction and infrastructure as our province finds itself in a moment of growing as it seeks to have as much infrastructure that it needs. So ideally, colleagues, there's no shortage of opportunity. There's only shortage of belief and those that rise up to the occasion. I must say that the different colleagues that we have here, that is your funders, that is your enterprise development specialists, exist for your own benefit. And therefore, the only time that they don't get to work is when you are non-existent. And be existent. And not just only be existent, but be interactive in your existence. And make sure that at all times, you show up for yourself. And I'll always repeat this. Finally, entrepreneurs, I would like you to hear me clearly on this. There's no blueprint for greatness. You can read all the books that you would like to read, but there's one key ingredient. We all wake up and believe in ourselves, even when the conditions don't allow us to. That is one of the key ingredients that you need to have. You need to believe in your ideas. You need to believe in your ability to learn and adapt. Your background is not just your barrier. It's your story. It's your brand. And all brands do sell. You are not too young. For those that are in high school and those that think their age is not yet up to that particular level. And for those that feel like, now I'm already 35, or I'm turning 35 in 3 months' time, you are not too late as well. And I'd like to also say that with all this community that exists in here, you are not alone, certainly. We are building a youth-powered entrepreneurial revolution, and Limpopo is part of it. So go out, pitch, learn, build, fail, stand up, grow, and win. You move from the idea that everyone is speaking about those that blew it, to then being the ones that say, I grew it. Your time is not coming. Your time is now. And I would like to say, from entrepreneurial intent to entrepreneurial activity, we ought to be part of the stories of those who establish sustainable enterprises in Africa, because each and every story matters. Nzakensa, Rialebucha, let's build Limpopo and let's rise together. Kancane kusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela. Kancane kusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela. Elimpopo kusele kancane, kancane sizophumelela. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Mr. Maluleke for that address. It was very informative, and I hope you found it as informative as I did. Although, Mr. Maluleke, I must say you had my brothers and sisters shaking in here with that song. Hey, Baba ngu neba ituma tumamu kibaboni. But anyways, to the groups that have just come in, welcome and thank you for joining us today. We hope that this will be as fruitful as we would like it to be. Now we'll be moving into our panel discussion. And as our panelists make their way up to the stage, I will just shortly introduce them to you all. As our moderator for the day, we have Ms. Kensani Nyambi, who is the head of advisory at YAEI. And then our panelists are Mr. Kwanele Dlamini, who is area segment manager for the Gauteng North and Limpopo, Mr. Bonginkosi Dladlama, who is the Director of Research Mobilization here at the University of Limpopo, Ms. Karabo Kulube, who is from Enterprise Development Support, and Mr. Willie Gija Nkwashu, who is the founder of Hosia Zambana and was part of the Emerging 30 Innovators Program cohort for 2024 and 2025. Can you please give them a round of applause?
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay. I just want to, interact with the high schoolers a bit. So, who has a business here? By raise of hand. One. Okay. You guys are not very confident. Who has a business? Who wants 100,000 rand? Me. Who wants 100,000 rand? Oh, you're standing up. Okay. Look under your chair. I don't have money, guys. I just want to get the room going. How's everyone doing? How are the high students? How are you guys? You're fine. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I will move on to the panel discussion. So, just for a bit of context, right? Last year we did a poll, and the panel discussion was around creating entrepreneurial pathways. And what that means is creating opportunities for entrepreneurs, right? But also speaking about financial inclusion. This year we're taking it a step further. We're looking at creating investments, but also ensuring that your business are investor ready. So everyone that said they needed 100,000 rand, this panel will tell you how to get that 100,000 rand, okay? All right. We've already done introductions, but just maybe briefly for everyone to put a name to a face. We just start introducing yourself from the end.
Good morning once again. My name is Lebohang from ABSA, the area segment manager for small, medium, and micro enterprises for Sekhukhune district and Waterberg, so west and south of the province. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. My name is Bonginkosi Dladlama, attached to this very institution. My responsibility with the institution, I'll just mention one because I wear a number of caps. One of those is institutional advancement or resource mobilization. Yeah, let me pause there.
Good morning, Afsheni. My name is Willie Gijankwashu, Hosia Zambani. I'm coming from Tsanin, currently in the Emerging 30 program, and I'll share with you my story as the discussion progresses and how I managed to get that 100K. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
So, Willie's very modest, right? He's part of the Emerging 30 program and he just got the 100K. Give him another hand. So he's moneyed. I'm not saying you guys should do anything after this, but it's up to you.
Tawela Karabukulube, attached to lead Limpopo Economic Development Agency, the unit that we specifically deal with enterprise development, both cooperatives and SMMEs. Thank you.
Okay, cool. I think because we at the University of Limpopo, it's fair that we start with Mr. Bonginkosi, trying to, so I'm seeing a lot of banners, right? A lot of banners about different initiatives that you have at the university. Could you break down some of those opportunities that you have for student entrepreneurs, but anyone who wants to step into that entrepreneurship space?
All right. Yo, she's putting me on the spot. Yeah, you see, the university on its own is an economy. This is why you will hear most institutions that are like us as the University of Limpopo will always say they want to endeavor to be what we call an entrepreneurial university. What does that mean? It means in their approach in terms of what they discharge as the responsibility in terms of their mandate, they want to be seen as an institution that plays a role in the economy. Now, there's an academic concept that I'm very fond of called the quadruple helix model of innovation. So what that essentially means, it means there needs to be that seamless coordination between the different economic role players. Higher education institution be one of those, the government, industry, as well as society. So I'm happy to see the cohesion that is playing itself out here. We're seeing ABSA, it's here, Institution of Higher Learning, LEADER, although it's a government business agency, but you're representing government in a way. So I'm seeing the manifestation of that academic concept playing itself out here. So what role do we play in that economy? We are on the skill supply side as an institution of higher learning. So we train these students to go and give, to play a meaningful role into the economy. So their first point of that happening or that manifesting in their life, it's also to engage with us to say, based on what I have been trained to do, what is it that I can do in terms of the practical experience manifesting itself based on the economic opportunities that are available. Now, you've got a division within the university called Marketing and Communication, which are the banners that you just spoken of. From time to time, they endeavor to rebrand themselves. So those are some of the opportunities that those that are in the marketing and communications place can tap into. There are many other things that we do as the university. Say, for instance, perhaps maybe you've got interest in catering, so to speak. There are events where we cater, although we've got our own internal businesses that does that, but it is something that you can inquire, see how best you can collaborate and partner with those institutions that are here. As you can see, there are some who are wearing the university apparel. Unfortunately, I did not wash mine. I would have worn it. Yeah. So those are the other opportunities that you can tap into. And then if it is perhaps maybe research that one is interested in, you can also tap into the consulting space. That could be another opportunity that they can look at. We've got a faculty that focuses on, agriculture, and then within it, there's a School of Mining and Geology. Limpopo, it's a mining economy. So there are many mining activities that are taking place. So those are other things that perhaps maybe you can also reach out to Office of the DVC, who deals with partnership, to say, who are the partners that you have? What is it that I can do or leverage with the partnership that the university has forged or fostered relations with? And then most importantly, Batile, who is an MC here, she works within a component within the university called the Technology Transfer Office. Within it, there's a business development wing that help those that aspire to be entrepreneurs to can be supported, because one of the things that most entrepreneurs face as a challenge, it's the necessary support that they will need to understand what are the market dynamics. Some of it is access to market. Finance, it is a challenge, but not something that they can really, perceive it as a great impedance for them to enter into, the business market. Let me pause there.
I like that. I like that so much. I think we focus so much on finance, and sometimes you just need to have a partner. You just need to have a market to even go into before you even get to start your business, right? So, aligned with this cohesion that you're speaking about, I'll now move on to ABSA to tell us. So there's this myth that goes around that banks don't fund startups. Everyone will be like, I went to ABSA and they didn't give me money. So let's break down this myth. Is it a myth? Is there truth to it? But also, if there is no truth to it, what criteria do you use to fund businesses and startups?
All right. No, thank you so much for that question. I think it's a very important question because you're right. I mean, it's a myth. The bank funds every entrepreneur or any business that is funding ready, and I'll explain what I mean by funding ready. But also it must be a viable business. You must have a viable business plan. And what I mean by that is there must be something you're solving when you start a business. And what you are solving, there must be somebody on the other side who's willing to consume your product or the service. And as a result of that, you need to understand that you don't do that for free. And whether it's a hobby, what you are doing, or it's a formal business, there must be some, because that is the value proposition of your business. But then there must be the financial side of it. How do you make money out of it? Because ultimately when we fund you, we want to ensure that you are able to repay us as well, because we will fund you through a loan. There is opportunities for grants, and I'll unpack that. So I think what I mean by the criteria, it's the basics. So with us, it's exactly that. The business must be viable. So meaning we need ideally your business to be formalized. So you could have a sole prop, a partnership, or CIPC is no longer registering CCs. Those that has, you've got trusts, different forms of legal entities. So that's where it starts. But after that, you need to be compliant as a business, because government expects you to be compliant. Register for tax or for VAT, depending on the nature of your business and whether what you are providing is VAT exempt or not. You then have to register, have a clear detailed business plan and profile, and either in an industry you understand or that you are willing to research and understand. And I think what I mean by that is, I normally call it a source, to say, when you come, I will look at 4 things. You want me to assist you with funding. and it starts with behavior. So I say, do you have a bank account? Is there somewhere where I can make reference to say, as an individual, remember behind the business, the company, there's this person. What is your relationship with lenders? And I'm sure a lot of you hear the story around credit bureau, credit report, because normally that gives us an indication that this person does have some credit history and they do pay on time. But when there's issues, they also do attend to their matters, because there's some people that you give money, but then they disappear when things don't go right? So we will go check that to check, didn't you have loans in the past? And those loans, did you actually honor your commitment? Because you asked for a loan, so you should have paid. And if you were not able to honor it, how did you address that situation? Did you go back to the person who borrowed you money and told them that, listen, my business has gone down, COVID has affected me, I can't pay now, how can you help me? Can we get into some sort of arrangement? And then we take it from there. So that's behavior. We then look at a bank account. When you've got a bank account, then you've got debit orders going through your account, both in personal and business. Do you honor your commitments, or all your debit orders are bouncing? Because you want me to give you money, but I'm saying you're not paying the ones you owe now, you know? So I think that is quite important. And literally just that. So that's the B. And I mean, that's your behavior, the individual, the business, your history. We rely normally on the credit report to tell us that, and the data we have internally as financial institutions, but at ABSA. The second one, and the most important one, it's affordability. So to simplify affordability, if you earn 10,000 and you want to buy a car that you're gonna pay 20,000, you simply don't afford it. Because what you remain with and the car you want to buy that you have to pay 20,000 does not even cover that. So already as a business or an individual, that means you do not afford what you are looking for. We will try to test that, right? Do you afford this? And if you are new and you tell us, no, I'm new, I'm not an existing business, but I've got a business model, a business idea, and all of that. We want to see also the projections to say, how are you going to do as a business? How are you projecting, and what is informing those projections, right? Maybe you've got a contract from the university, and we definitely are aware that the university is going to pay you for that contract. Then we can look at how do you assist you with that, right? So that is more affordability. So it's really income minus expenses, and do you have something remaining to cover this commitment that you want to go into? If it's a yes, then we'll assist you because you tick in that box, right? But then if it's a no, sometimes we want to understand why we say it's a no. For instance, if you run a school can make a loss this year simply because they bought stationery and textbooks, which cost them money, and they went into a loss position. And they come and say, we are looking for money to buy a bus that is going to transport our students, and the parents will now pay the school. So though they made a loss this year, meaning their expenses were more than their income, but they're not going to buy books, textbooks, for instance, in the new year. So we understand that when they give us projections, they will be in a position where they'll become profitable. So we still can assist there, right? So that's number 2. So the first one was behavior, the second one was affordability. Now the third one is collateral. So it depends on the nature of the funding you want from the bank. We normally call it collateral or security. So if you want to buy an asset, that asset, which is a car or a property or machinery that is going to assist you to build your business, serves as collateral in its own nature. So meaning you can actually, if your behavior is right, there's affordability, then we already know that our security when we give you this money is this asset you are buying. And I think the challenge comes in where people want to buy, they want money, not to buy assets, but maybe to, for working capital. And what I mean by that is you got this contract and then you need to do the catering, but you don't have money to go buy ingredients and all of that. So sometimes when you need an overdraft, which is, you know, a small amount, sometimes we don't look for that. But as you go higher, then we start to say, okay, we hear you've got a contract. If this contract, for some reason, things fail, how are you going to pay us? That's when we look for that security portion, right? But then failing which, we also have mechanisms, and I think for startups, majority of the time we'll have those situations. So for 51% black-owned businesses, we can actually assist on the collateral side through cooler guarantees, and we do engage with Keketso and colleagues at enterprise development within the ABSA business to assist, you know, because we also have to nurture and develop entrepreneurs. So that's collateral. And then the last one, I call it the source, and I think I touched on it when I opened. So I say, this business that you are going into, what are your expertise in it? And it really depends on the nature of the business you're going into. So if you want me to give you money and you were in retail, for instance, but you want to go into mining, already I'm going to have serious questions for you. And if you can answer, and how you answer them perhaps is, no, I'm partnering with someone who brings these skills, then I understand that if I put my money into this person, they will be able to succeed based on their plan. Because the key thing is we need you to succeed as an entrepreneur, because like I said, the bank's role is not to go repossess assets. So we don't want to buy your trucks and come take them. We want you to pay us, own them, and get more business, and we continue doing business together, right? So that it's quite key that we say you've got a viable business, you've got a viable model, meaning the business you want us to fund you for, it's a straightforward business where it can succeed, you've got skills, and the industry is also open. But sometimes also there's something you call a counterparty risk, where you say the person you're doing business with, how reliable are they? And us being banks, we sit in the privileged position to have data that guides us. I mean, you can get a contract from a specific institution and you are excited about it. But then on our side, we're sitting with data of entrepreneurs that are closing businesses because they can't pay us back because of the specific institution that has been giving them contract but perhaps not paying them. So I think those are some of the four things. So to summarize them: behavior, affordability, security or collateral, and the source of the business, your skills and the industry you operate in. Is it not high risk? Is it viable? Do you have skills in what you want to do?
Okay. Thank you so much. I hope you guys took note of that, right? The 4 key things. So if you go to ABSA next time and you say they didn't give you funding, just consider all those 4 elements and if you ticked all of those boxes. Moving forward to leader, Ms. Karabo, you know, you're government representative, I guess, right now in this position. We speak a lot about the different opportunities that government has, but what are these opportunities that young entrepreneurs could be a part of, and investment opportunities as well?
Okay, let me start with LEADER, the organization that I work with, the opportunities that they can take advantage of. One of them is access to funding. We do offer funding, but it's in a form of a loan, it's not a grant. We were known previously, 15 years ago, for giving grants. But then since, well, the government pie is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, it's no longer possible for most of government organizations to just give out money in the form of grants. So we no longer have grants at LEADER. We have loans, business loans, that people can come and take advantage of. And then most of our South African citizens that are doing business, the ones that we call entrepreneurs, they don't take advantage of that. I'm speaking for leader and maybe majority of government departments that give out loans, because we've got some sort of entitlement. We don't want to work and get loans, work and pay it back. We want freebies. So I'm here to encourage you, young people, that really, if you want to make it, be ready to take a risk. You know, if you believe in your business and you believe in your concept, you can't have a problem with acquiring a loan and paying it back. So that is one opportunity that we have, but then the obstacle becomes the issue that it is a loan. And also, like ABSA will require a collateral, that if I borrow you 100,000, what are you putting on the table in case your business does not succeed? Because we know that is another risk that is associated with a fund loaning. And another opportunity that we have within LEADER, we have a trade and promotion unit whereby they assist people who want to take their products outside the border. It could be Mozambique, Zimbabwe, but as long as it's outside South Africa and even outside our province, there is a unit within LEADER that can assist businesses that are interested in such. Another opportunity that you can take advantage of, we've got a unit specifically for training and development. It's into capacity building in terms of training. Most business people don't like to sit down and be trained. Let me tell you what are the benefits of you being trained. We prepare you to know some of the compliance matters and issues that are there in the industry, that are there in the marketplace. Like, for example, I was listening to some of the preaching yesterday. Some were asked, how much do you want? Like that. To me, it's a question that any person who's in business should be able to respond to it. But the fact that you can't even know what your business, how much your business investment is, it shows that you have not sat down and learned your business and study your business. So as leader, the training and development unit will assist you to know a business plan, how to develop it, and how to understand your business. You know your business needs, the risks, what is your market. Those are some of the issues that you're supposed to be talking about yesterday. That's where we come handy as leader. That's how this unit within leader comes handy. They'll be able to prepare you. So there is business plan development training. We've got pricing and costing, so that you can know how to price your product, because some of you thumb suck, you just guess, and which is wrong, and then the next thing, you don't make profit, you don't even break even, and you wonder why. So that unit comes handy to you. And we also have a module on financial management, where we will teach you. ABSA spoke about your relationship with money. That's why we will teach you to separate your business money and your own personal money, because most of us, we handle business money for personal things when you are supposed to be giving yourself a salary. So most of you don't give yourself a salary in your own business. You just finish up, squander everything. And that is why as leader, previously when we gave people, when we were called LIPS grants, they couldn't account what they did with their businesses, because as soon as the grant came in, they bought equipment, then they paid themselves salaries. You have to pay yourself salaries from what you have worked hard for, from what you have sold. Then that's where you pay yourself after you have paid expenses. So that's what we come with as leader, to educate you. But business people don't want education, they want money first. And the unit that I work for, we call it business support. We have capacity building in terms of mentoring and coaching. We go with you, through with you for a period of 24 months. teaching you some of the things, because the unit will also be part of the mentorship. We also teach you how to run your business. We handhold you. We teach you how to run your business, and we will also be learning a few things from you, because it is your business. So that's why we come in handy. And any information that we have as leader, we prioritize the people who are within the incubation program. So meaning if there are opportunities from ABSA, NYDA, DTIC, we prioritize people who are within our incubation program. So these are some of the package that we come, and we also have the unit which I work for. We've got what we call non-financial services compliance. Some of you don't do your annual returns. They are very key for you to apply for any opportunity. They will ask you about tax compliance. We come handy to assist you. Annual returns, if you don't renew your annual returns, you can work a tender. Are you aware you won't be paid if your annual returns is hanging? And you won't even qualify for that tender if you are non-compliant in terms of tax. And we also now we have what we call beneficiary ownership. It's no longer possible that I can steal your company and run with it. You must come to our offices and use your fingerprint and declare that it is your business. So those people who have been stealing people's company, government has had many complaints. People saying, the municipality say I own a business and then I don't qualify for 1, 2, 3, but I have no idea. So that's where comes the issue of beneficiary ownership. We assist you at leader to come every time and sign off that this is my business, I'm the owner, and I'm aware of the transactions that are happening. So people are not interested in the non-financial issues, support issues, and they are very key. And I am sure that even some of you seated here owning businesses, you don't even have a business bank account, and yet you're going to come knock at ABSA and say, can I have a loan? The issues that he spoke about, that I'm going to look at your bank account. So if you don't even have a business bank account, then it's another issue, because that's where we see if you swipe at the tavern, you swipe at Wimpy, they're checking all those. So let me give you a tip from leader, because they're going to spot that, and then you might lose an opportunity to get a business loan. And then that was from the side of leader. I'm aware there's no NYDA here, there's no CEDA and CIFA. CEDA and CIFA, they've amalgamated. Now we call them SEFTA. SEFDA, SEFTA. So there are financial schemes also that they offer. You can apply for TREP. TREP is a township and rural development program. So if you stay in the rural areas, you stay in the township, you qualify to apply for TREP. The requirements go back to compliance also. They want to know, do you have a business bank account? Are you compliant in terms of what I've already alluded on? So we also have in the national level, we've got what we call the DTIC. They've got a variety of schemes, from those who want to be manufacturers, for automotive, and some of you, most of our black people, we are not venturing into automotive space. If you can check, even now Indians are owning
That's how it was going until 2014, when everything went south. So I started to consider my mom's advice to say, why don't you just go to school and be educated just like the child next door? I attempted that. Then after just a year of doing those studies, I said, I'm calling it quits. I can't do this. Why? Each and every time I was in class, my mind was not there. My mind was counting money I didn't have. So I was like, okay, if I'm here in a college, that lecturer is earning 20K plus, 30K plus, who's paying him or her? How much is him or her making for the institution? So my mind was always there. Then I left, and yeah, the relationship with between me and my mom became even sour. But fast forward 2020, I registered a business called Dosia Zambana, and the aim was to comply, because I've been attending workshops. In Tsanin, we have, under the Greater Tsanin Municipality, we have Jiteda, and then there's SIDA, which is now SIDFA or SIFDA. Yeah, so I started attending those workshops, and then I familiarized myself with the business language. You know, there's English as a language. There's business language. When they talk tax clearance, when they talk CIPC, when they talk all these big terms that when you go back home and you be like, I'm an entrepreneur, they'd be like, oh, okay, what are you talking about? They know a businessman, you see. So, 2023, I heard about the UL and the digital hub. So I came here, but not really for that, because I had a relationship with the technology transfer office. It was still in the L block, if I'm not mistaken, before they moved to that smart building there with Prof. C. So there's something that we're working on. But COVID came and did its wonders. So everything was back on zero. So when I came back to UL, I was sold a dream that I always had. It was like, you know, how about, since you are waiting for this and you'll be part of the incubation program. We have an incubation program here, it's doing this and this and this and that. I won't speak for them, they will speak for themselves about the incubation program. So that's where YAEI found me, that's where ABSA found me, because during the incubation program, we were offered an opportunity to go to the University of Venda for pitching. Hey guys, I got the news 2 days before the date of pitching. Like I said, there's English, there's business language. So to me, pitching was like, oh, you just pitch up there, you know, just, you go there and be there, you know. So I went there, but around 9 p.m., just before the morning of the pitching, I said, no, man. I went to my WhatsApp AI. Tell me about pitching. Yo, what I found there. Esh. Sell your dream in 3 minutes. I was like, this can't be true. I went to Google straight. Tell me more about pitching. It took me straight to YouTube. Sell your business in 3 minutes. 3 minutes? Like how? Okay. Now I started working, doing the drafts, everything. Okay, how's the best way of doing it? You must have slides. I tried the slides and everything, 24 pages. How am I going to do this in 3 minutes? Because those slides needed at least 20 minutes. Okay. Fast forward. I'm coming from Tsanin, right? They said the transport to vendor is leaving at around 6, 6:30 the latest. All right. 5 o'clock, I was on my way. Catch a cab. I couldn't hitchhike, it was very risky. Then I had to go to a taxi, of which is expensive. Then I thought I was coming straight to TEF. Hey, the taxi, boy. And then they say, no, from here you must take local. Guys, no. They said, okay, you can walk if you don't mind. All right, catch a local. Go to TEF. Mtsepana was calling, hey, Gija man, where are you? Said, I'm coming. Then we made it to vendor. And it was true. And it's still true. 3 minutes. That's what ma'am gave us. Good, in 3 minutes, sell your business. Now, let me tell you, prayer works. Prayer works. After listening to 3 entrepreneurs, they are pitching and everything, I was like, okay, fine. God, take these slides, keep them safe for me. Amen. Let me go there as a vessel. I empty myself and I need the fullness of you. Amen. Let me speak my heart. The plant that you planted in me back then in 2018, it's time for it now to germinate. Amen. It's been in the ground for so long. I fasted, I watered it with tears, I watered it with giving up mentality, you name it. But now it's germination time. I took the mic. I looked at myself. I looked like a village boy because peers then were looking like entrepreneurs. But then I said, I'm selling what's inside me, not what they see. I sold the panel, the dream, and they bought it. So from there, we had to now attend the YAEI master classes. It wasn't easy. You have to be punctual. You have to participate. You have to ask questions. I did that. And, oh, Noms is not here. For participating, you know, I had no access to Wi-Fi. I had to go to Marquee, you know, ask for permission to be connected. But that effort even got me a 500 take-a-lot voucher for being consistent and participating, you know. So we went to VETS for that entrepreneurial week. Again, 3 minutes. Felt like it wasn't over. So, but now I was a sharpened tool. I was sharpened by the master classes. I was sharpened by the pressure. Each and every aspect of the program sharpened me. I'm attending YAEI master classes. The UL Digital Hub wants me here every Friday because we had classes as well. So the non-financial support, it's very important because it got me to the Emerging 30. I won't talk much about the pitching in VETS because that one I nailed it. I nailed it. Remember, then 3 minutes wasn't enough. But in vets, I pitched and I asked Sis Kensi if she had any questions. You see, I had that time to ask if, do you have any question for me? The answer was no, sir, thank you. I killed it. I murdered it. So, fast forward, workshops, YAEI workshops, and then they appointed coaches for each and every one of us. And I have to acknowledge Bongiwe Ngozo in her absence. She sharpened me. She did a very great job in pushing me, making me to believe in myself even more, to stay the course. It wasn't easy, but she made it possible. From there, last night, just last night, we were having a workshop, and then Mr. Nkosi asked if we all received emails from him. If you didn't receive the email, please send me your email address. So, you know, I just wanted to confirm. I quickly typed my email address in the comment section. Then he said, Mr. Nkwashu, I CC'd you here. You received the email. I said, okay, sir, let me refresh my mail and see if it's here. And then when I opened, when I opened the mailbox, I just saw 100K. I was like, wow. So it's not a done deal because they still have to check if you were attending those master classes, if you booked your coaching sessions, if you answered all the quizzes and everything. So I confirmed with my coach, Coach, are we good to go? She just sent me those dancing emojis. I was like, I got the 100K. Thank you.
Thank you so much. He's a storyteller, eh? That's why I had no questions. Okay, I think I'm pressed for time. So in closing, right, to everyone on the panel, what are some of, like, three things that you would recommend now for someone who's sitting here who has an idea or who has a business but they have no capital? How can they become investor ready? 3, rapid. This is a panel discussion.
I think from my side, I think everybody has spoken, and I think Mr. Maluleke has said it. I always say start, all right? And even if starting means you are not putting the solution into the client's hands, because you know, it just depends on the type and the nature of the business you are doing. The moment you start, the universe it has got such a great sense of humor. You will see it aligning people that will come and be solutions to some of the challenges that you have. Because when that dream doesn't make you sleep, you think it, you eat it, you drink it, and ultimately it pushes you into environments that will help you to actually get access to people who may be answers to some of those prayers. And I think the key thing is action in entrepreneur. So ideation is great, having that idea, but start. Resources will find you. Sometimes they find you midway, sometimes halfway, but at the end of the day, you will succeed as long as you're determined and you really are putting your best foot forward. Yeah. There's so much support in the country for entrepreneurs, and there's many opportunities that you can go into. So I think from my side, that's that.
Thank you.
Do I need this? All right. A simple response to what you've just raised as a question now from me will be organized. Right? Once you get that one right, then you are able to withstand whatever stone gets hurled at you, whatever question that may arise from an investor. So you get organized by getting your business concept right. Be clear with the vision that you have for your business. What is it that you want to attain? Mr. Mnama said it earlier on regarding, be solution oriented. What problem are you solving? Because sometimes entrepreneurs get to fall in love with their business concept to a point where they will not even entertain constructive criticism in their business. So be organized, be clear about what is it that you want to attain, be clear about the problem that you're solving, understand the market that you will be serving through your business.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. From me, I'll say the best way to start is to start. If you don't start, nothing will ever start. So, secondly, don't drink from every cup that comes your way, because you'll end up not knowing which one poisoned you. And if you want to be great, surround yourself with greatness. I was once up there at the corner, now I'm here, and I'm eager to see where God is taking me.
Amen.
So, a dream that is not scaring you, it's not big enough. Thank you.
From leader side, it will be always know your business. Know your business plan from the back of your head. It will help you to do your business pitching. You'll always be ready. Even if they say 2 seconds, present your concept. Know your business plan concept from the back of your head. Number 2, your business plan should be commercially viable. How do you make it? Know who is your market. Most of us, we do business, but we don't know who's our target market. We say it's for household of Teflo. What is household? Be specific. Be able to segment your market. Know who is your market. That's what we mean by your business must be commercially viable. And also, always know that when you come and request for loan, we will need what we call letters of intent. Letters of intent is who's willing to buy for your business, from your business, how many quantities are they committing, who's willing to use your services, who are those companies. You can just type a letter and have them sign and stamp their business name. It doesn't have to be a big document. Just to know that somebody's committing, they believe in your product. Those are letters of intent. If possible, go an extra mile, get off-take agreements. Those are formal contracts that you can get from private sectors, from your local businesses, so that they can say, we will support this business. And lastly, financial statements, prepare them. Management account for your business, have it, prepare it. If you don't know those things, please come to our offices at LEADER. We will gladly go through all those with you. We will help you with all your 9 financial services. And then I don't know if we are allowed to give out our contacts so that they can communicate with us after for further assistance, because I understand you come from maybe different regions, so that we can be able to, you can be able to keep in touch with LEADER. For more information, can we give out contacts? Okay. My number is 082. It works 8 to 4:30 only, Monday to Friday. 082 904 0042. 082 904 0042. So if you are eager to learn more about the non-financial side and how to be prepared for loans, for business pitching, we are your guys. Thank you.
that brings us to the end of everything. Thank you to my panel. I think it was great. Thank you to the audience. You guys were lovely as well. I hope that you took everything in, right? And you were the sponge and you're able to then execute and work on your business plans. Thank you so much, everyone. No, we don't have time. Sorry, we don't have time for questions. You can ask them personally.
Thank you very much for that insightful panel discussion. What I will do right now, just to make sure that people were participating, I'm going to start picking out people. I'm going to pick on people. There are familiar faces in here, but I won't speak to them for now. But I just want us, or two people, to just switch on the mic and just tell us what were the key takeaways from this panel discussion, because we can come here and speak and plan all these beautiful presentations, but if you're taking nothing away from it, then that's a problem. So I'm just going to scan the room. You are taking notes, so that's a good thing. That's a good sign that you guys are paying attention. So just to move on with the program, I am going to call up Ms. Keketso Temane, who is a development specialist in the sector of enterprise development in Gauteng. Can you please give her a round of applause?
Ke gopela Stena. Okay. It's not a morning. Can you go away laptop? That's why I wanted something to step on. No, it's fine. If it's fine, I'm sure they'll see me. Yeah. I do. Mara, wanale. Okay. All right. Okay, let's log in. Sure, ke tlhoka no, ke tlhoka like black ke bona battery ya ka nka re le nyana. Go na le black. I'll organize one. Okay, let me grab my yes.
Good day, everyone.